Well, we're back to the next phase of the table build. What we're going to do is we're going to actually start making the support for it, the legs and the braces for the shelves, however I want to do it. To tell you the truth, I kind of have a mental block on how I want it to make it look with such a top that I think is pretty much beautiful. And the idea is just not really fully satisfied. So really, I guess what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to do 4x4 wood, but pretty much minimizing as much screws as possible so it doesn't look like a construction frame. What I have over here are some pieces that actually I had lying around that I repurposed. I already cut them and ran them through my planer to clean them up. So basically it's just going to, each leg it's just going to be a thick square, routed edges and that kind of stuff. And then up on top of the table for the upper shelves, we'll just have a couple of these up here. Shelf will come out this way and this way. Same thing with the other one, this way, this way. This is from top to top shelf. I think this is kind of like what I need, so I'd probably be like this and just stuff will be up here. And of course there'll be the one shelf in the middle there, which I haven't figured out how or what size I want to cut or what wood I want to use. You know, I got some up there. I'll figure that out as soon as these ones in place so I can see it, and also get measurements off of my computer monitor, whatever, so it's not too low, so but I don't want it too high either. Like I said, I pre-cut, cleaned it, and actually I pre-marked a couple hole where I want to actually like drill my holes. That's what this is. The way I'm going to attach them is basically, in an example here, here's one set of legs that I did, is it's just going to pretty much be something simple like this, something like this, and something like this. Simple enough. But instead of doing a bunch of screws and that kind of stuff, we're just gonna pretty much use this 1-inch thick dowel, or you can even use like one of those wooden curtain, or not curtain, closet rods. You know, they're good too. This is a 2-foot piece. I pretty much got it marked down to 3 inches, so it would make me 8 pieces, one for each corner. Just going to drill 1-inch holes, 1.5 inches deep on each piece, set it in there, glue it, clamp it, and that's it. So it's pretty much wood on wood. Actually, I kind of already built something kind of like that for my drill press over here, since it's a really heavy, hefty duty drill press. But it's mainly for like some type of really heavy bench, but I'm not putting that on a bench, and I wanted my drill press as high as my other one, so kind of did the same thing out of 4x4s and 4x6s, same method as a prototype. So what I learned on that, I'm pretty much applying from here. So we'll get started on that. I'll show you what I did to get started. Was how I made my measurements on where to put the holes. So I'll show you that one right now. So I got the drill press set up for the boards or the wood that's supposed to go down into depth. Because my plan is to do these ones first. I can just raise it up and leave it that way. Little side note, hearing the little background music and that crap, I live across the street from a Little League field. Today's open today, so you'll probably see some of that crap, or hear freaking a Magic Dragons over and over and over. So we're going to start with this first. I got a little piece of tape marked to 1.5 inches, since my dowel pieces are going to be 3 inches. So that way half of it's in here and the exact half is that way. So it kind of saves me time. It's set to 1.5 inches because when I built, what I learned from after building the pedestal or the drill press over there, I just randomly drilled the depth, put the little dowel piece in, and then drill the other piece in, and sometimes they're too long or too short. So I had to keep going back and forth, back and forth. And this way I'm trying to minimize some of that little extra work, since I know my piece is going to be 3 inches, so half of that 1.5 inches this way, 1.5 inches the other. So kind of save me time on checking and rechecking and checking. I put a piece of tape right here, 1.5 inches. So once I get to that mark will be fine. I'll probably just go a hair bit deeper just to make sure. I'll do that with every one. So, want to make sure my thing is set. I like to be on the lowest speed for this. One thing else, make sure I got power. Okay, good. One thing I like to do first, instead of just, some of you probably tell me I'm wrong or I'm an idiot for doing it. You know, just start it and start going at it. What I like to do is, because I don't have, you know, a clamp down here just to make it level. Well, actually I kind of do, I just don't have the stuff to put it. Got the point of it, I can see the point right on where the piece is. I just barely have it in, and then I'll just turn it on, and it already caught it so it doesn't walk. So now we start going down. I don't know what. The stopping is not because of the tightness of this. Sometimes I have to just retighten this. Sometimes it gets, oh yeah, a little loose. A little loosey-goosey. There we go. So it's just made belt sleep. Alright, just line it back up. Goes this way. Makes it easier to line it up and start again. Got a hole. So I got 4 more holes to drill on this one that will reset to this one. Alright, now it's time to put the holes on the upright pieces. Literally the same bullshit. Just gotta set it. Again, what I do is line it up. Actually, you know what? I need a clamp. I get a clamp. I need to clamp it. Okay, got the clamp. Right. That'll make it easier. Let's just. So. Here, probably this would be. Yeah, get on my driveway, little leaguers. I have it just set right on point, and I'm just barely pulling a little pressure on the thing just to keep this still while I take my other hand and clamp this to the table. There, see, ain't going nowhere. Perfect. And just like other pieces, you know, just have it kind of set on. I mean, if you need to make it, you know, a little second adjustment, you can. Let it kind of grab and take it on. Same crap. Inch and a half down. This part's boring and tedious. Also clean out by lifting up and back down. Up. there is to it. Oh, flippity-doo-dah. Same thing. Hold it. Jed clamp it. Fire it up. Alright. There we go. 1 down, 3 to go. Take care of that. And we'll go on to the next phase. Time to cut dowels. Here we go. 3 inches. I'm cutting it directly on the line instead of off to the side. Only because this is an exact 2-foot piece, and if I started going off the line, by the time I get to the end, I'm actually going to lose a lot. And if I'm, it's just a dowel anyway, so it's a sacrifice a little. So time to cut pieces. Here we go. One. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7, 8. 8 pieces. All right, time to get the glue out. Time to put the dowels in. I'm putting them first through the vertical support pieces. And the reason why I'm kind of choosing that is based on how boring the holes went. As opposed to going this way, it was a lot harder, basically because of the direction of the grain of the wood, as far as going in this way. So because this way was easier, means it kind of tells me it's a little bit weaker. So, and it's easier just to kind of put them in first before you take the other piece and start, forcing it in. I'd rather have this already in here strengthening this than opposed to doing it the other way and then trying to force this in, maybe cracking or breaking it. So, got my favorite Type-On 3 for Type-On 3 to all of them. Just gonna go ahead and just pour some glue in there. A little bit halfway through. Dabs, kind of like wrap it on my finger. This is already going to be a tight fit because I know, because I've kind of done this before, which is good. Little mallet, just kind of tap it down. Clean off the excess. The other side. And yeah. Screw it in. There we go. Tap it in. Clean it off around there. Clean it off. Okay. Basically, this is what I want. Do this with the other piece. Set it aside. Give this about a half hour to set up. Type on 3 usually works pretty quick. And then we'll start attaching in the other ends. Like that. And also. Alright, back to another fun part. Then all 4 pieces are put in. So now I'm going to attach this way. So, of course, like I said previously, that I have like letters that tells me which end goes to what. This piece right here, I need D and B. This is A and H. Not that one. E and D, that's 1. So this end's gonna go over here. So I need B, that's G, that's C, obviously D. So, and also, I kind of also figured out when I actually place it to market is mark it also with which side you want to be up or down, or basically hidden. So I basically chose the worst side as either to the floor or to the top of the table. Oh, pool noodle fell out of the sky. Basically I decided off of this piece of garbage here, the edges are going to be routed, so I'm not too worried. So I believe this should be on the bottom. Okay, so now add some glue this time around and onto the dowel. We'll spread around. In. A little mallet love. Actually, what I should do is what I need is a little block of wood. Something. There we go. There, I can tap the crap out of this now. Not worry. The fact that I have to do this is actually a good sign because it's going to give it a tight fit. So it's not too loosey. Hold pretty good. Turn for alignment. Also, I'm going to clamp it together so it would squeeze in as well. Same issue, got to choose which side that I have. Actually, this one piece is actually really good no matter what. It was this way just because of this little corner knot. Yeah. Glue. turn it. You know, sometimes you make mistakes. This one was, like I said, this was kind of hard for me to decide. Alright, which one's actually the up part and the down part? Because it was pretty easy. Here we go. Alright, so now I need the piece that's marked E and F. It's right there. Now, usually when you kind of do this, sometimes it'll be one of the pieces be slightly off. It's okay, because it's going to flex into shape when you put this one in. I can tell this one that I just put in is a little bit this way by the gap I have down there. So, I mean, kind of pointless why I did that, but so now you put in say blue, down here, side, also on the dowel part itself. The reason why I'm not putting it the reason why I put it on the dowel here is because this is going to be upside down. When I place it, I don't want too much glue just dripping all over the place. That's why it's set up here. But I need to make sure got some spread around the dowel. That's really the main part of the strength. Okay. This is okay. E side. So this side goes over here, and this goes over here. See what I mean about the flex? This part's kind of set in, and this one I gotta line up in. There we go. Now we just tap. Basically that's it. Just gotta throw some clamps to help squeeze it even tighter together because there is just hairline gaps. Well, this one's got a little bit more of a gap. That's no problem. I did have a clamp set to the side somewhere. Oh, there it is. I don't even know if this clamp's actually gonna make it. Go all the way. Interested. I'm gonna actually, yeah, my biggest clamp is literally like 1/8 of an inch too short, but I have about 1/8 of an inch. Well, probably less than that of a gap here.
Sometimes I wonder why the camera just shuts off for no reason. Alright, I got 2 clamps on it. Set aside, I'm going to go ahead and get the other one built. And then the other thing we got to do after this sets up is we got to put a couple holes in through the top that's meant to attach to the main part of the table. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that after these commercial messages from your local sponsors, which I have no sponsors.
I think the glue is now hard enough where I can safely do a little bit more cleaning up. I'm going to clean up on like a little bit of lips that I have over here on both sides. I'm just going to run the belt sander, kind of playing it down a little bit over the whole thing on both pieces. The other one's down here. Then after that, probably do just a little 80 grit sanding with orbital over the whole thing, smooth out just a little bit. Then I'll start running a router, and start rounding the edges all the way through it. Well, it's just nothing but belt sanding imperfections. I'm just using the belt sander to plane the joints down flush to all the corners, just to make it all uniform, one piece. Nothing really special about it. And I'm using like 80 grit belt sandpaper. Just smoothing it, smoothing it. Yep. Now it's just working the corners. Right here, just getting the outer sides of it. You gotta get them flush. Blend it all in. That's all I'm really doing, is just blending it all in. Well, I have a couple gaps here. It's not the end of the world. What I'm gonna do is what I like to call the poor man's wood putty. Yes, sawdust, wood glue, mix it up, fill it in, good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and let it dry, and then we'll orbital sand it. Well, this is my trick that I call the poor man's wood putty. It just basically, like I said, it's sawdust or sand and dust and wood glue. And I have no real ratio. I just basically use either more sawdust for the thicker amount that I need. If I'm filling in larger gaps or holes, I'll generally use more sawdust for wood glue, but if it's finer, I'll actually use more wood glue than sawdust. It's just basically it, and after it dries, it's sandable. So there's really not much to it. Pretty simple. That's why I call it the poor man's wood putty, because basically almost all that stuff is kind of free. So there you go. Spat it on and enjoy your life. Got the majority of what I want to fill it in. This was no big deal. This part's going to be up towards the inside of the table anyways, but said what the hell, just fill it in. You still really won't really see that spot. I already kind of planned that. So I'm going to let this all dry up. Shouldn't take too long. Probably give it a couple hours. And then just start sanding it down some more and routering. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and router the edges. I did a test router on what's going to be part of the shelf support. Oh, I'm not worried about that. That's going to be behind. That's why I made mark where I'm going to put a bracket right here. I was going to do something not as rounded as this, but as soon as I did the first pass, seeing how much it splintered, so I just took the biggest rounded edge that I got, so it'd be safer. Because of how much it splintered, you can just see all the chunks of pieces that came flying off it. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead and start routering. So, busting off with the old handy router tool with my very wide curved router bit. Just grind it away. Inside edges, outside edges. Making big chips as I go. Pain in the ass. One thing I do like to emphasize, always, oh, hey, look, hey, did you see that? That's what I had to deal with. Big ass. Look at that, it's a spear. Anyways, as I was saying, what I definitely want to emphasize a lot is safety. You don't want to keep safety in mind. Always wear protection when doing stuff like this. So make sure you got your flu shots. Can't emphasize so much how important about it is to do woodworking with your flu shots. Now back to this part here, just more sanding, cleaning it up, rounding things out, you know, planing, smoothing, and all that other bullshit. And that's the finished product right there. Came out pretty freaking nice.